So this video is a quick walkthrough of the Roberts Rules of Order, newly revised 12th edition in the Folio View software. When you open your software, you are presented with several different layout formats. Across the bottom are tabs that show you those options. The first one, All, will show you a tri-split screen with your table of contents on the left upper side, your content of the document itself here on the right middle side. This is a navigation pane at the upper center that shows you as you navigate through where you are in the document. And then across the bottom is the hit reference list, which only shows material if you are running an active search. The search screen will show you, after you've been running a search, the highlighted terms that are part of your search. Browse shows you your table of contents on the left side of the split screen and the content of the document on the right side. The Document tab shows you just it shows you just the document itself without the table of contents. The Contents tab shows you just the table of contents. The hit list, again, will show you any active searches. It shows you your terms and some surrounding text to give you a reference point of how that term fits into the text. The Object tab is only used for images within a document, and in this case, the Roberts Rules of Order does not have images, so there will be nothing appearing under the Object tab. Once you are in your program, there are several different ways that you can navigate around. You can use the table of contents to expand open and show the subheadings below each chapter. In this case, chapter 1, the deliberative assembly, if I were to expand it open by clicking the plus, it then shows me section 1, section 2. Anytime you see in the table of contents the plus symbol, you can open that to see further leveling within the document. In order to print material, there is a printer icon across the toolbar. You can also use Control P. It will let you choose the printer that you want to send your material to. You can choose All, which will print the entire document. You can choose Record, which is this program's way of determining each paragraph of text. You can use Section if you have a specific chapter or piece of a chapter that you wish to print. You'll see that this is similar to the table of contents navigation. You can check mark next to the pieces that you want to print. Once you've made all of your selections, you can either preview it or you can hit print to send it to your printer. If you want to print the table of contents, that is a separate tab called Print Contents. And again, you can say All to print the entire table of contents, or Records is only for the specific line. It's not applicable for the contents printing. Same with Branch. It is not applicable for the contents printing. If you are running a search and you want to print that list of results, that would be the print hit list. Again, print All or print the specific record. In this case, because there are no active searches, there are no records in which to print. You can preview any of these options to make sure that you've selected what you need to before you send it to your printer. In order to run a search, there is the search option here at the top. That will take you to a query, which is a simple keyword search, or an advanced query, which will allow you to do more complex searches like Boolean searching. To start with a simple query, I will, in the box, just type in a simple keyword. In this case, let's do the word conventions. I click OK. It will now take me in the code where my term convention appears. Your hit list now will show you those locations. As you can see, your term is highlighted and it also shows you some surrounding text so that you can read for context to make sure that's what you needed. At any point, you can use across the bottom here the navigation to go to your next hit or your previous hit, or to jump to the next partition hit, which jumps you to the next section, paragraph as it were. You can clear your search or clear your query by hitting the binoculars with the red X over them. That will remove the active search. You can use the binoculars that appear on the far left of the screen at the bottom to do an advanced search. You can also get to the advanced search or the advanced query by using the F2 key or going to the search and advanced query. The advanced query gives you a word wheel that shows you all the words in the code. As you type your search terms, it will start to autofill to anticipate what it is that you need. You can choose a word from the word wheel as you need. If you are going to search for more than one word, for example, if you wanted to search for disciplinary procedures, but you wanted to do that as a phrase search, you can type that into either the simple query or to the advanced query box and surround it in quotation marks. What that does is it keeps those two terms together as an exact phrase. Otherwise, you can see here in the advanced query that the word disciplinary appears 92 times, the word procedures appears 110. If you don't surround them in quotes to keep them together, you will end up wading through almost 200 hits when, if you're looking for disciplinary procedures as an exact phrase, there's only 53 in total to wade through. The Folio Views program allows users to search not only the entire program, but it also allows users to search within a specific chapter or several chapters and eliminate the areas that they don't need to search in. In order to do that, you need to be on your content screen, either using the Browse tab or the Content tab, so that you can put a check mark next to the specific locations of this document that you want to search in. If I'd put a check mark next to Chapter 12, Assignment of the Floor and Debate, any searches I run now will only appear within that chapter. If I bring up my advanced query, here near the bottom is the checked branches. If that has a check mark in it, it means that you at some point have selected either an entire chapter or a section of a chapter, and you have not removed that check mark. So be sure to check here in the advanced query if you're running a search that you intend to run across the entire document and not have it restricted to a specific portion of the document. You can uncheck the checked branches box and run a query. If you don't uncheck it, the query you run in this case would only isolate itself to Chapter 12, since that's what I've set in my table of contents. Throughout the document, there are a variety of references to sections and to pages of the Roberts Rules book. The references that are in a dark blue, more of a bolded blue, are to the specific sections within this document. So this line 118 that says conventions are particularly treated in 58, 59, and 60, these are all hyperlinked references that will take you to that section. You can navigate back from where you were using the arrow at the top toolbar that says go back. Any references within the text that are in a non-bolded blue refer to the page number locations that correspond to the printed book. These page number references were left in for consistency and to make it easier for users to be able to go between a print book and the electronic version. These are also hyperlinked references that you can click on. It will take you to the locations in the code. There are line references. All of that is linked for you. The index itself near the bottom of the document, all of these references are linked for ease of navigation. The appendices contain useful information for sample rules when running meetings, especially for electronic run meetings. There is a section of charts, tables, and lists that is useful for the steps of procedures and how to run a meeting. All of this information corresponds to the print version of the Robert's Rules of Order material. One more thing to note, at the very beginning of the document, when you first open it, there are options, quick references essentially for searching the entire publication. You can search within a specific chapter. These icons are just shortcut keys to use the same features that I've already spoken about. There is a reference guide that explains in the same depth how to use this program. You can also jump straight to the index. In addition, there are references to PDF documents, the teller report, the forms, the timekeeper's guide, etc. All of these that appear purple on this screen. These are PDF documents that are contained with the software you received. They were separate from the installation. So if you received a CD or a USB flash drive for your installation, please refer back to that media in order to access these documents. These links will work without those, but for ease of reference, you do not need to be in the Robert's Rules software within Folio Views to get to those documents. They are separate standalone PDFs that were provided. In addition, there are shorter Folio Views documents, ballot voting, understanding secondary amendments, summary of rules, etc., that can be accessed by clicking on any of these hyperlinks. They will open a new info base and give you access to that content. If you still have questions, please let us know. There are ways that you can sort of annotate or highlight, mark up this document. That is explained in good detail in the reference guide, but I'm happy to walk you through that. Briefly, in order to make use of the highlight functionality and the notes and the highlighting that are grayed out, you have to create what's called a shadow file. The instructions are in the user guide, the reference guide, but a shadow file is a clear, transparent overlay to this master file. So it allows a user to mark up their transparent file without involving the integrity of the master file. To do that, you would go to File, New. You'll see your file type is called Folio Shadow File. You can save this shadow file wherever you want, to your desktop, to the same folder where you've installed the Robert's Rules software. You would give it any name that you want. And once you've clicked New, it's now created your shadow file. You know you're in your shadow file if in the upper right corner it reads Shadow at the end of the title. In this point now, I have access to the note-taking and highlighting tools, and I can set a bookmark for ease of reference. Bookmarks are used to quickly locate material in the code. Are used to quickly locate material within the Robert's Rules document that you need. To set one, you would put your cursor in the line or at the beginning of the line where you want the bookmark to be tagged or set to. You go to the bookmark icon, give your bookmark a title. and then hit set. That will then add your bookmark to a growing list. At any point, if you need to navigate to those specific bookmark locations, you would click on the bookmark or Control M as in Mary or Mark. That will bring up your list of bookmarks, and you can select the one you need and say go to. You can also move bookmarks around just by selecting where you want it to be moved to. Bring up your bookmark list and then select the bookmark and say move. You can also delete and rename them at any point. The note feature allows you to set a sticky note next to a particular line. Choose your note, type in whatever you need to say, save it, and then you'll have a sticky note that appears to the far left of the text where your cursor was when you chose to create the note. Highlighting allows users to create highlighters by name. So if you are perhaps making highlighting of something very specific, you can name it so that it's easier for reference. And then you can assign a specific color highlighter or set up a custom color to highlight your material in. Once you've got a highlighter set up, and if you choose to give it a name, you would click under the highlighter here to make sure it's active and then simply drag to highlight whatever you need to. That covers the majority of the features that users utilize when in the Roberts Rules software. Again, if you've still got any questions, please give us a call, 1-800-445-5588, and we're happy to be of assistance. Thanks so much.